Welcome back. In this video, you are going to learn how to use the media scanner connection in order to share an image. And it's a really cool tool where you can, for example, draw something and then share it. And well, you can see here that you can now select where you want to share this image. It will be possible via Gmail or whatever tools you have installed. So let's say you have WhatsApp installed or any other emailing tool, you could use it here as well. You can even share it via Bluetooth if you feel like it. Okay, so that's pretty much what we want to implement. So let's go ahead and create a function just for that. And the cool thing is you will be able to just copy this function and use it for other projects that you want to use it for. So private fun share image, and you could call it share file or whatever. So we need to pass in the directory or the result. Well, we called it result earlier, so we could call it result here as well, even though this is more like the directory, so the path where it's at, or the image is at. So we're going to use the media scanner connection here, and it provides a way for applications to pass a newly created or downloaded media file to the media scanner service, and the media scanner service will read metadata from the file and add the file to the media content provider. And then it uses the media scanner connection client, which provides an interface for the media scanner service to return the URI for a newly scanned file to the client of the media scanner connection class. So basically what we can do is we can just call the scan file method here when the connection is established with the media scanner, and we can pass in the context as well as the path where we want to get our image and or where we get the result from. And I'm going to say array of, and in my case it's just one entry. We can pass in the MIME types. I'm going to not pass any. I'm going to say it's null, and then we can go ahead and use it. So what we will get here will be the path and the URI. So the path as well as the URI, and we can then use those. So what can we do with them? Well, first of all, we can use a share intent here, which will be an intent, which I'm going to use share intent dot action for. So this will be intent dot action sent. So there is this property for intents, which is called action, and you can say what kind of action you want this intent to do. And in my case, I'm going to use action sent, which uses the Android intent action sent, which basically allows us to send items. And it opens up this feature that you saw earlier when we tested it, right? And you can add extra details to it by using the put extra. So extra details to the intent, because it needs to know which direction it should use. So which file it should use, so to speak. Okay, so I'm going to use intent dot extra stream as the name. And as the value that I'm passing, I'm going to pass the URI. So this URI that I'm getting from here. Okay, so now we are passing basically where the image is on our device, and we're putting that into the intent, because the intent needs to know what it is we are sharing, right? So we're sharing the image. And then we need to define what kind of type it is. So share intent dot type, and here you have multiple options. So I'm going to say this is going to be a PNG file, so image/png. So that's the MIME type of, so MIME type of the data being handled by this intent. And now we can pass this activity or start this activity by passing our share intent. But that by itself is not going to be as simple. We need to also say, well, we're also going to create a chooser which will use this share intent with a title. And I'm going to pass share. So now this will basically start this thing here. Okay. All right, that's pretty much it. So the activity action displays an activity chooser, allowing the user to pick what they want to before proceeding. Okay, so now that we have our share image method, we just need to call it at the right spot. And what would be a good spot? Well, I would say, well, the thing is we can do it directly in the onCreate once we click on the save button, but it would be, or when we, I think the save button. But the thing is, we don't know yet at this point if we I have an image or not. So inside of this get bitmap from view, that's where we are checking if we have an image. So inside get bitmap from view, that's we are creating the image, and here we are checking if we do have an image. So we only want to call this method once we have sent out the notification that the file was saved successfully. So here would be a good spot to call our share image. And we also, of course, need to know where the image is at. And the image is at result. So let's pass the result, because that's our absolute path. We could have called it path as well accordingly. But at this point, we should be able to share the image. So let me check it. And let me draw something. Let me click on it, and you see the share feature pops up. Now, of course, there's one big thing that we need to change before the application is fully done. And that is we need to get rid of this background image that we have defined as the basis. So I'm going to put that in tools, but not in the actual app. So let's run it again and see what we're gonna get. And you see we get this white background. So let me draw a beautiful little face here. And there we are. So let's save this and share it via Gmail. And you see Gmail opens up, and now we could share it, even though I haven't set up Gmail on this emulator. All right, so that's basically it. So now if you ever want to use this feature in your own applications, the only thing that you will need to have is going to be the path where the image is going to be. So here you need to pass in the path. It will create the URI from it, and then it will, well, you just need to use this code. Cool. So see you in the next project.